2-year anniversary of Bannerlord. Can you believe it? Here's something else unbelievable. No update, no patch, no DLC, just a thank you and a giveaway. It's a little disappointing, but I have to say I would love to get my hands on one of these maps. That thing looks incredible. Also, love to get my hands on this T-Mog. Are you kidding me? Look at that. How come y'all didn't add this to the game for the anniversary? Love the paint job on this shield, that horse armor. Come on. So we didn't get anything cool from Taleworlds, but something that they did drop that was pretty cool. Did you guys see the statistics here? These are just some of the statistics that they've gathered from the Bannerlord community, and I thought they were kind of interesting. Look here at the top, the most executed clan, Neretzes. What the hell did they do? Let's take a look. Who is that? Oh, Pinton. Well, to be fair, he does kind of have a punchable face, does he not? What's his personality? You guys love chopping up those old oligarchs, huh? Poor Pinton. He's the guy that's taken the axe the most. Kind of makes me like him a little bit more. You guys picking on a poor old man. Heartless bastards. The poor Northern Empire. I mean, they've got to take it from Sturgia, Battaglia. This Epicrotia is a hot spot the whole campaign. Eventually, the Valandians push it, and now you're dealing with those 1,200 to 1,600, 1,800 sometimes Valandian armies coming in. To your west and south, the other Empire factions are chopping at you, and then to the east, you got the damn horsies. Just an absolute shit show. You know what? I'm going to play one of these next. This kind of making me want to fire up a Northern Empire campaign. That's why I can't ever get to looking at this stuff. Neretzes right here starting at Saniopa. I got to tell you, this city right here, if you come down, because it's getting grain from here, it's getting grain from here, then it gets the horses. This is one of my favorite fiefs. It's up there with Epicrotia too. I like this one. I love this whole area because you've just got all these choke points, and this battlefield is in a valley, so it just plays right into that badass legion. But down here at Saniopa, this is a great fief. This is a great fief, especially when you consider you get 2 grains coming in here. You can big pop some prosperity in this one because you've just got food for days. I got to tell you, I've quit executing lords, and I used to kind of be a fan. But unless you're just into some serious RP mode, I really don't get it. There's no long-term benefit because the game repopulates the factions very quickly. If you start chopping heads, you'll see the opposing factions start producing babies like crazy. I'm talking wives spitting out 5-6 kids a year, getting ready to repopulate the earth. And it's not long before new clans get spawned in. So chopping heads is not a long-term solution. Only 2.7% of players have conquered all of Calradia. I don't think that surprises anyone. I haven't even done that. The main problem right now in Bannerlord is the late game. The early and mid game are fantastic. I mean, they could use some touching up, but they're great. It's that late game slog. Now, I think I play later into the late game than most because I actually like getting my big army, especially my big personal army, and fighting other big armies. To me, when you're fighting army versus army is when the game is the most enjoyable. I mean, doing that little 100 versus 100 shit's fine, but when you get into those 1,200 versus 1,500, 1,600 battles, and they're going on for, 15, 20 minutes, those are the ones I love. Those massive sieges, I love that shit. To me, that's the best part of Bannerlord. Just fire up a new campaign, you play that early, awesome, and mid-game, and you just keep going on that playthrough. And then, when you get bored with that one, you throw it on the Barbie, and you go slide over and start another one. And that's the Bannerlord cycle. I mean, starting a new campaign is one of the sweetest parts about Bannerlord. Truly. It's the most fun thing to do. You're all excited. And there's a lot of different specs and a lot of different play styles to switch it up from, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, they did some things really right in this game. But it's quite obvious that most of us are not doing World Conquer campaigns. At some point, it's just a matter of you doing the same shit over and over to wipe the map. In your mind, you can just check that checkbox, right? Okay, I won. I won here. All I have left to do is conquer Calradia. Do I actually want to spend the hours to do it? Or would I rather go start a new campaign? And it's obvious for most players, they'd rather just go start a new campaign. Another stat they dropped was the popularity of the factions. And look who's sitting here at the top at 25%. Battaglia. I wonder why. I'll tell you. Because they have the most OP cultural bonus plus fiends. That's the answer to that equation. Right behind Britannia at 23% is the Empire. There's just nothing like that Restore the Empire campaign. You couple it with that Imperial Legion drip. Come on. At 19%, Finlandia takes third place. Castles, chargers, and crossbows. The perfect combination for those looking for a little medieval mayhem. Fourth place is tied between the Khazate and the Sturgians. Are you kidding me? I want you guys to know this makes the great Bobo Khan outraged. Completely unacceptable. We got to bump this number up. We cannot be tied with the Sturgians. Are you kidding me? I got a guide right here that'll help you perform maximum carnage. Check it out, and let's get some Khazate playthroughs, please. Tied with Sturgia? Oh, that hurts. And I love Sturgia. They're a lot of fun, but my God, do they need a bonus in the snow. That should be their two cultural bonuses. Extra cohesion, movement speed in the snow, because trudging across the great tundra from one part of Calradia to the other just gets tedious after a while. All my Viking bros stand by, because my next video coming out is going to be a Sturgia build/campaign that you're going to love. The Aserai at 7%? Oh, that's a tragedy. Are you guys out of your damn mind? They are so good. I hate having to fight them with those javelins and those archers and all that cav. Holy shit, those javelins. Oh, they do damage. Oh, it's brutal. No one plays. I mean, dude, this faction is insane. Are you kidding me? 7%? Awesome army. Awesome towns. I mean, you've got choke points protecting your lands on both sides of the continent. So your towns, I mean, they're pretty much at no risk at all. And you can just smash. Oh, God, you got to play an Aserai campaign. 7%. That is completely unacceptable. Plus, they've got that speed penalty removal. So you're scooting around taking care of business on your, I mean, talk about a home field advantage. These guys got it. Their armies are perfect for desert fighting with that Jav Cav. Oh, poor Aserai. That is a damn tragedy. You know what? I'm going to start, after I do this Sturgia one, I'm going to do an Aserai campaign next. Maybe I'll do a Khazate one and then an I don't know. Look at the most popular brides list. Ira coming in at number 1. I get it. Dark hair, dark eyes, and that leopard print drive any man wild. Is that what it is? Is that why you guys are hopping on the Ira train? You sure it's not that mommy's the empress to be? And that puts you next in line, gets you a nice bump? You know, guys like to talk a lot of shit about gold diggers, but now look at y'all. Out here hopping on that heir apparent train, getting in line for the throne. You know what it does? Makes me proud. That's what you do. You do what you got to do in the world of Calradia. Number 2 is another daughter of a faction leader, Corrine. And boy, she's a scary one, isn't she? This little thing is nasty. She tears it up in battle. I mean, she wrecks shop, but she is horrifying. These daddy issues are so hot you could cook a steak on them. But I got to tell y'all, I think I can fix her. Savannah sliding in at number 3. Great hair, great eyes, great armor. Top all that off with a giant two-hander, and she becomes the perfect queen for any Northman. The last two are Valandian gals. Number 4, Lyanna of Clan Datir. You can see she comes with a host of great attributes. However, you can also see she's 26 years old. Holy shit, Grandma. Let's hope she has an overdrive. At number 5, we have the daughter of Durthert, the lovely Ellis. Don't feel too bad for her being all the way down at 5, because her and I just hooked up, and she's about to get that power mustache ride. Over to the fellas. Number 1 on the fellas chart, Battalion Lord Finnegan. And I get it. With that hair, that beard, those eyes on those cheeks, are you kidding me? Wrap it all up in the merciful trait, be like Mary and Jesus. Number 2, Arian. Tan skin, dirty blonde hair, and then he's got those crystals pointing out the front of his face. Make you feel like you're looking at the stars. Oh, and another little thing. He's one of the youngest members of one of the most powerful Imperial families in all of Calradia. Get him while he's hot, ladies. Number 3, back to Britannia with Mr. Munzer here. And look at this fella, huh? Got the gold plates across the top, one in the middle, gold pommel on the sword, and then look at these stats. My God, this is a man that can take care of business. So this one I don't really understand, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably that nice Imperial nose. It's a nose you put on an emperor and cast in marble. This one is baffling. I mean, just right away, he looks like Sloth from the Goonies. And on top of that, this has got trouble written all over it because Mommy here is leader of the faction. So I think we're going to have some real mommy issues coming into this relationship. A lot of, well, we can't do that because my mom doesn't think we should kind of shit. So my advice is to tread carefully here. Here's the one that floored me. Only 10% of campaigns increased any skill to 300. I mean, that's given up pretty quick. When you consider, I mean, some of them take a long time to level up, but a lot of skills don't. I'm thinking writing, athletics, plus getting to 300 is the best part of a lot of those perks. I'm thinking Way of the Great Axe for two-handed, the crossbow 300, the athletics 300, steward 300, medicine 300. I mean, that's the best talent by far. But I think this is that same issue with only 3% conquering Calradia. There's no point. You get to a certain point in every campaign where you've won and you've played it enough and now you want to restart it. And a lot of people just really enjoy that early to mid game and then they're out. And once you've leveled a skill a few times, you're not so inclined to stick around and do it again. You get it. Only 10% was jaw-dropping to me, but this I think just speaks to the fact that people really love that early game. It's the sweetest part of Bannerlord. Here's one that's not surprising. One-handed's the preferred melee combat skill. You think about one-handed, two-handed, or polearm. Well, polearms suck unless you're on a mount. Two-handers are great, but boy, they got a real downside, especially as you crank up the difficulty. And there's a lot of times you'll pull out that two-hander to get to work, and then you turn into a pincushion. It may not be sexy, but you gotta love one-handed, especially since in the other hand you can put a shield. Hop in that big shield wall, and it just feels like home. Plus, as you level up one-handed, you get to where you're just one-shotting pretty much everybody anyway. You're so fast with it, you can get 2 hits in. You become a machine. But let's be honest, the best thing about one-handed is the shield. And shout out to all those shields soaking up the damage. And then the main story selection, over half is the Empire. No surprise at all, the Empire's pretty awesome. I did want to point out here in the end that they did say that they are working on future updates. So there's been a lot of people on the forums outraged that they haven't come out with them yet. And I'm kind of one of them as well. But they are bringing out more updates. So the game is not dead. They're bringing out more stuff. Boy, it better be some banger updates. That's all I can say. Better be like a huge patch that updates a whole bunch of stuff. New armors, a DLC announcement. Even with this announcement, I think a lot of the community is very skeptical. I really do. I think a lot of the community has just put their faith in the modders at this point. Which, let's take a minute here at the 2-year anniversary and thank our modders. The 2 best modding communities in all of gaming to me, the Skyrim modders and the Mountain Blade modders. Some of these mods just chef's kiss to what they do to the game, and they just dress up and clean up a lot of the problems. And I don't even know how much less Bannerlord I would have played without mods, but it would have been dramatically less. Their contribution to this game and this community is just without peer. So most certainly thank you, Taleworlds, for Bannerlord and creating the game. It's a great game. Even by itself, I'd still argue it's a great game. There's just nothing like it. However, the modders come on and just make it fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. And we'd be lost without them. So thank you, Taleworlds. And thank you, modding community. I just wanted to show these stats to you guys. I found them kind of interesting. And I also wanted to say to my Bannerlord community, happy 2 years of harvesting. I know we're all eager for that 1.3 patch. I know I am. But in the meantime, I've got some great Bannerlord content coming your way with some fun playthrough ideas and some builds. The Sturgia boys are up next. That'll be the next video I drop after this one. More blood for the blood god. Talk to y'all soon. Oklahoma out.